Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Andy.
And I'm Joe.
And I'm also Joe.
And I'm Andy.
And Joe the third is me.
Andy the fifth is I.
Right. We're going to show you right now a video from our past. These are videos that have previously aired on our Patreon page from the past.
Yes.
Because we're getting ready to launch new videos from the future.
The future is.
I've said before on this channel, if you've watched some of the older videos, where you should take your shoes off, take your pants off, put your pants back on, put your shoes back on, take your jacket off, put your jacket back on. But now I'd also like to advise, for those of you who wear glasses, take your glasses off, put your glasses back on, go get some sunglasses, put them on top of your glasses, and that's it. Keep the sunglasses on over the glasses. Joe can't do it because he can't find sunglasses right now, but please enjoy this video from our past while we get ready for our future here on Give Me All You Got, the show.
The Andy Show.
It's not the name of the show. That's just a name that I thought of. Anyway, enjoy this. Bye. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Andy Show. So, look, the truth is that right now you're watching this on the internet. The internet is a place where we all are, and sometimes Joe is, but I
Yes.
definitely am very often. And we have noticed that there's a fair amount of negativity. We've talked about it on the show before, that there is a lot of negativity on the internet. And I don't know where that all stems from, but we want to try to get it under control. But before we do that, before we later in the show try to take our action to get it under control, let's talk about something that people used to do on the internet.
Yeah.
Those are the old bastions of social media.
Certainly.
Stuff like LiveJournal.
Oh, I had a live journal.
Stuff like MySpace.
Oh, I had a MySpace.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that a lot of the viewers probably did as well back in the day. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe your live journal? What was it like? What were the kind of things you wrote on there?
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. I wish I could.
Yeah.
But I wrote a lot of angst-ridden high school material.
Yeah, can you give us an example of something that you would have been upset
Yes.
about, complaining about?
I recall writing about the death of Christmas, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yes.
Just what we want to hear from a teenager.
Right? Yeah. Because I think the year in question, obviously I knew that it was my parents who got me the gift.
Sure, Santa Claus is over at that.
Yes, very much so.
Depressingly.
And what I got was a computer, which was wonderful, a laptop. I've been asking for several years. But the sadness came when I realized that I knew what I was going to be getting.
Yeah.
And then instead of being 5 years old and waking up and having all of those smaller little packages and thinking a fat man gave them to me, I knew that it was my father, a slim man, and my mother. And it was just
also a slim man. Yeah. You're
That
slim
really
man.
sucks the fun out of it.
Yeah, it really sucks the fun out of
All
getting
the
an
slim
awesome laptop computer. And it just really got me down and got me thinking about childhood.
Dude, were you getting Adele at the time?
Dude.
I was getting Adele.
Dude, you're getting Adele.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Remember that guy?
That was a big deal.
What happened to the dude you're getting Adele guy?
I think he got busted with some weed on him
Dude.
back when that was a big deal, dude.
You're getting arrested.
And then they dropped him from the bit.
Yeah, dude, you need a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
does.
obviously was active on all the social medias. My live journal predates the Andy
MySpace stuff.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. The live journal was in high school, like maybe junior high and high school, and I mostly was just lies. Like most of my live journal was me telling stories about a way that I would like the world to see me, which is sort of funny when you consider that it's supposed to be a diary.
Yeah.
That
But
I
it's
was
your
writing.
diary.
It's a diary that I was writing about things that weren't happening.
Yeah.
Like shows that in my rock band that didn't exist that I was playing and all kinds of shit. And I remember one time this girl that I liked had written in her live journal about how she was really excited because she had seen that I had a show coming up the next week and that she was going to go to my show.
Busted.
And I remember thinking like, I'll probably feel bad about this later. But at the time, I didn't because I was a hormonal teenager.
You're like, yeah, see you there.
At the time, I was like, at the time, I was stoked because this is this girl that I like and she's going to come see my show. But the problem is, not a real show.
Right.
Didn't have one.
Yeah.
Did you list a location?
Yeah, it was going to be in a
Abandoned building.
abandoned warehouse.
Yeah. 21 plus. By
Abandoned
the way. Sorry,
warehouse
can't get
on the west side of Cincinnati, underneath. If you heading into the west side of Cincinnati out of the city, there's a bunch of like bridges that go up into Price Hill or down into like Delhi and Western
Sure,
Hills.
yes.
And I had said that the party that was going to happen that my band was playing was in a warehouse that I had driven by before with my dad underneath those bridges. Which is just it was a terrible. All that stuff.
Imagine this poor girl showing
Yeah,
up,
by herself.
and then in the echoes she hears Chuck Browning go, "Ladies and gentlemen, little Johnny Rickfield," and then you give her like a one-person show. And
It was supposed to be a Halloween
Under a
party.
bridge.
I made up this whole elaborate lie where I'm playing a Halloween party that didn't exist.
Wow.
At a warehouse which no longer is there, thankfully.
Yeah, they tore it down.
in like a really rough part of town.
Yeah.
Not good.
Was this in order to get her to not be able to go to the show so that she wouldn't bust you? Or
No, I just
that's how
told
cool you thought it would
I
be to
told
play
like
that?
a lot of people that this show was happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did anyone follow up with you like, hey, I went to the show?
I think it's probably a good example of how unpopular I really was. That no one even called me on this ever.
Yeah.
Like, there was no blowback from this
Yeah.
at all. I planned a fake party
That
and
nobody was
invited
going to.
everybody that people talked about coming to, but of course no one did. And
Yeah.
then no one said a word to me about it ever.
That's
And
awesome.
I didn't, at the time, I didn't think like, I was not bummed out. I was like, ooh, I got away with that. I should have been bummed out that no one actually
Nobody
gave a
was
enough to follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because that could it would have been interesting if one of your friends was like, "Hey, man, I went to the show, but I didn't see you there."
Yeah.
And then you could have trapped him in a lie.
Yeah.
While also outing yourself as lying.
I would have needed one of my friends to be a person, though.
Exactly.
First,
Yeah.
and not just kiss VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Sure.
My friends were mostly VHS tapes of Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley doing interviews in their early 40s. That was
In their early
40s.
Okay.
So they were at a point where they were still pushing their career,
Right.
but they had also had enough that they weren't quite like cocksure. They were like a little bit introspective. I like to think that 100% of my person that I am in terms of like publicity and everything else was completely sculpted by two men in their mid 40s in the twilight of their career. I was taught to speak that way in interviews.
Nice.
And I think that I do carry myself that way.
You're already in the waning phases.
Yeah, I
your
speak.
way up.
I'm a person in my mid 20s who I do find myself often speaking as though I am 48 years old and the young kids.
Yeah.
And I think that is because I was taught to do it by two guys who were in the twilight of their career.
Yeah. Well, hopefully when you're in your mid 40s, you'll start talking like you're in your mid 20s.
When I'm in my mid 40s, I will start talking like I'm in my early teens. And go backwards that way, Benjamin Button
start
style.
booking
Nice.
shows in warehouses and
I'm gonna relive all the stuff that I missed out on in my teens.
yeah, make all those fake shows real.
Yeah, as I get older, little Johnny Rickfield will do a worldwide tour
Yeah.
of just announcements where people
yeah.
all just come out. People
Yeah.
can say hi to me. But I mean, look, it didn't help that MySpace and the social media boom started, and this kind of my screen name and like all this stuff became like a handle for me that people started calling me by, and it became this kind of extra entity where.
So let's harken back.
let's harken back.
Now, what you're looking at here, though, is this is the end of the MySpace era. So this is all Black Veil Brides era stuff. We got fan art, a lot of fan art. I don't know that there's the really old photos on here
See how
anymore.
far back they've changed the layout of MySpace.
Yeah,
It goes
I mean,
left to right now.
this is all right. So you can stop for a second. Around here, this is very early iterations of BBB. I'm gonna go a little bit to the left. These are early shows. As you can see, I was still experimenting with the look. That's red. Instead of the, I talked about that last week with
ran out of red.
Yeah, social repose. So that's actually the beginning of the black body paint came from the red there.
Yeah.
That was at the Madison Theater in Covington, Kentucky, in about 2007, I think.
Apparently, MySpace is only pop-ups now.
It's all pop-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same show, I
We
believe.
gotta hit the X over there to get.
You can see the dead
is
brides
for the
that my
photo.
dad discussed when he was on the show. Those things that we had on the sides
Yeah,
of the
let's see
stage.
what we got. Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember. Is that the shirt from the Knives and Pens video?
No, well, you know what?
From
I
the
think
black on
I
black?
believe I did wear that
The
shirt in the
black on
Knives and
black, 'cause
Pens video.
we did white on white, white on black, black on black.
Black on black.
on white.
That might be the same getup.
Yeah, I think that's the same shirt.
That's a nice little Edgar Allan Poe necklace that I've got going on there.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's a shirt
There's
that
your
that's
dad.
a shirt.
Is that you
shirt
giving
that a
your
fan
dad an
made.
autograph?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's what your dad got paid by, right?
That's me giving my dad an autograph in the early days.
That's you giving the Chuck Browning an autograph.
These kids are both now about 48 years old. Yeah, that's my buddy Chris back there. He was in an early iteration of the band. What else we got? Oh, look at that multicolored skull shirt.
Oh,
Mullet.
It's Hawaiian
flashy
pants.
pants.
Pants that I made. Those were white pants that I poured an assload of blood on, or fake blood onto. That's me. That's a photo of me.
That was an accurate depiction.
An accurate
What
depiction.
lens is that? That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
Oh wait, tell me about this.
This is all fan art. We're in the
that's
fan
more
art
fan
period.
art.
Yeah. Let's X out.
All right, and then we'll scroll again.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do some scrolling. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with MySpace, which I imagine wouldn't be many of you, but it was kind of the precursor to all social media. Back in these days, it was kind of the only place to go. You had this and Facebook was mostly for like college students.
Yeah, you had to have a college email address.
Yeah,
Originally.
in order to get it. So,
Whoa.
Pat's really liking this
It's
picture.
a little erratic. This whole.
This whole setup.
Yeah.
It's no wonder that MySpace is no longer.
Yeah, they got.
That was a Christmas photo shoot we did on a Christmas tour. We did a Wreck the Halls tour. It was a
What
winter.
was your
tour.
motivation in this picture?
I'm holding a candy cane. What else we got? That's another live photo. Remember
I like the tape on the mic.
Back in those days, the tape on the mic was a big deal.
Yeah,
you used to
it's
tape
good.
up the mics.
That way, when you swing it around,
I could swing it and it
pop
wouldn't
off.
it wouldn't get fucked up. There it is. There it is. Doing the face. Now this is actually in Los Angeles.
Oh, that was on one of your trips.
No, this was when I first moved to LA. That was this is right before the Knives and Pens
This would
video.
be like spring '09.
This would have been before you and
Like
I met.
March,
Yeah.
February. Well, we met the year before you. Well, no, did you move and then go to Georgia, or did you? Move
I moved.
after Georgia?
Yeah, I moved and then went to Georgia.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
would be before Georgia. So this would be like '08, early.
Yeah.
late
And but
08.
it was at the same apartment complex that I was living at.
Yeah, over by.
And then
Warner.
this was I made this in an early version of Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's when we were putting out the Knives and Pens
Yeah.
video.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's from the Knives and Pens video.
Green grabs.
Is that your hand?
That would
Probably.
be-
believe that's
that
Pat's
would-
hands.
There's my left and my right.
Back in the day. That's me. That's also me. That is also me. That's a lot of blood.
And your motivation in that picture.
Oh yeah, we'll go
Kind of
back.
got wall-eyed there. A little bit wall-eyed. Really like that hair, that red hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a good period.
Yeah.
That was what I like about this outfit is that I kept my keys, my car keys,
Sure,
on,
practical.
and
During
I
performance.
had a sunscreen attached to my keys, as you can see here.
Well, those were dangerous times. You couldn't. There's no safe place to leave your keys when you're out on stage.
No, you can't trust those places.
That's quite an outfit, though. I put all that together. Back in those days, I used to take that's a Milwaukee Brewers #6, and I used to iron them onto T-shirts. Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
green in
little
the
green
hair.
going.
Well, that's just the light. That wasn't.
Oh.
All right. All right.
Misleading picture.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
That's a cool one. I like the stripe lighting.
That type of photography was like all the rage back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the streaks and everything.
Light streaks.
So anyway, I believe you get the idea of me back in the day on MySpace.
We hope you loved that video.
I know that you loved it because I am in your house right now
Right.
watching you enjoy it.
And
that's not true. I don't.
Presumably you loved it because you're still watching the video and it's over.
Right. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you enjoy these videos. We will be uploading these videos every single day from the world, anywhere in the world that we are. We're going to stress out and go, oh, we got to get a video up. So
What's it
we'll
gonna
upload it. Yeah, we have a remote location that we upload all of these from. It's a bunker. We can't even get in. That's how secret it is. So we just stand right outside the bunker and we upload these videos. Is there anything you'd like these people to know?
Make sure to turn the bell on.
You might ask, what the hell's that? And the answer is, there's apparently a bell somewhere right around this video in one of these areas. Unless you're watching it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Unless it's not on our YouTube page.
If
However,
there's an actual bell, you can ring that bell. You can ring my bell.
You can ring my bell, LL. Ring my bell. Get notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Please enjoy these videos. And if you don't tell us, because we'll cry 96 tears.